family, and thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Talk the Talk. I'm your host, Dish Pillay-Bechin, and joining me today is Ian Black, and he's the Chief Executive Officer at Acute Accountants. Now, before I go on to tell you about Ian, I must say that I have personal experiences with this accounting firm. They have assisted me and helped me through a lot of my accounting issues, and they've helped me navigate being a businesswoman. So I thought it was very, very important critical to have them here to answer your questions in terms of you starting up your small businesses. I think they call SMEs, small to medium enterprises, whatever the case might be. So I hope that this session will empower all of you too. So Ian is really very passionate about empowering clients to grow through embracing technology and improving efficiencies in their business. Ian is one of the directors and leads his team at Acute Accountants. The momentum starts and the buck stops with him. So without further ado, let's welcome Ian, and as always, this interview is proudly brought to you by Seriti Solutions, MFC and Avo by Nedbank. Hello, Ian.
Hi there.
Now, it's very difficult to take a man like you out of, your busy schedule on a weekday, but thank you so much for joining us.
That's
thank
a pleasure.
you.
Thank
you for helping us to empower our listeners and our viewers and followers in terms of, accounts. A lot of us are mostly salespeople, but a lot of people want to start their own businesses, and the accounting and SARS and tax and all of that. I mean, it's quite intimidating for us. I really, really appreciate you sitting with me in the session. I think let's start off by telling us about Acute Accountants.
Yeah. So Acute Accountants is a all-in-one service for small and medium businesses as well as startups. What makes us a bit different to most of the rest of the accounting firms out there is that we are all chartered accountants, which perform the normal duties that you would expect from a bookkeeper. And chartered accountants are the only accounting accreditation in this country that is required, mandatorily required, to have an honors degree in tax before you can become a chartered accountant. So it means you are getting the best advice as you go with an accountant that actually knows what they're doing. Technology has actually created an environment where chartered accountants can now actually do the work of bookkeepers at an extreme speed, which means the cost involved has become a lot more affordable,
minimal,
and competitive.
And I think that from experience, again, I'm going to say that that's what we need. We don't have the finance, we don't have the time to do our own bookkeeping. So that really is something that, what would we need to do as a small business? Obviously send in our receipts. Can you just take us through that process?
Yeah, so there's a lot of red tape when it gets to, and compliance requirements when it gets to starting up a business. You need to take in consideration SARS for one. What is your requirements to pay taxes? You've got different types of taxes, pay as you earn, VAT, UIF that you need to look at, as well as the labor department. What is your requirements when you need to start scaling your business and employing people? There's a lot of things to take into account when starting up a business, but there's actually a lot of benefits as well. Access to grant funding, all that type of stuff that could be gained by a small business.
Small businesses. Now that's really empowering to know, because many of us run our businesses and we don't know what we can actually benefit from. So what inspired you to start this firm, Ian?
Well, I've got a few other businesses as well.
Tell us about it.
Well, one of the businesses we have is a Portuguese marinade business.
Ooh,
nice.
We've got you Portuguese?
No,
okay.
But it does well. It gives us experience in the manufacturing industry as well, and how to get to retailers. That experience, the reason we're passionate about things like that is that we can draw on that experience and hand it over to our clients as well. We also e-commerce based, or not Acute, but other businesses that we have as well. So we know how it works and how to set it up, and the benefits that we achieved through structuring our businesses, we also carry that forward to our clients.
Right.
So startups, we know how to get the most money in your pocket and keep your cash flow constant and keep you compliant.
Wow, that's amazing. And how does a small business qualify for SARS?
Yeah, so any business that gets registered will automatically get an income tax number.
Okay.
So you need to be sure that you remain compliant with SARS. If you actually do not submit any form or tax form as your, let's say, your income tax return, even if you haven't traded in the business, SARS will charge you a penalty. So that's one of the few ways they actually make money at the moment.
Right.
Yeah. So you got to be wary of it, and you got to remain compliant.
I think that's very important to just reiterate. If you do register a business and it is not operational, you need to, I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just repeating what you're saying, but you need to still submit because you will be charged a penalty fee for that. How are small businesses taxed in South Africa?
Yeah, so being a small business, there's certain benefits in the Tax Act. You can have yourself classified as a small business corporation, especially when you start up. There's some criteria involved. You cannot have a turnover of more than 20 million rand. Your shareholders are only allowed to be natural persons, and you cannot hold any shares in a company or in another company that has an asset base of more than 5,000 rand. If you are in that criteria and this is your only business, you would most likely be able to qualify as a small business corporation, which will enable you to actually save about 100,000 rand in tax for your business. What every individual needs to remember as well is that as at the financial year in February 2023, you are allowed to have a taxable income in your personal capacity of 93,000 rand without having to pay tax. And in a small business corporation, a PTY Limited, you will be able to also show about 87,000 rand in net profit after expenses without having to pay any tax.
Okay, and how much does a small business have to make before paying tax?
Basically, you are allowed to invoice up to 1 million rand before you have to register for VAT. But you are allowed to have tax in any deduction in the production of your income. So if you, for example, are you sell meat to a butchery, the cost of the meat that you are selling to the butchery, as well as your rent, all those type of expenses that you need to facilitate that process of generating income, you can utilize as deductions, and whatever's left after deductions, that you will be taxed on. Now, if you're not a small business corporation, from March 2023, you will be taxed 27% of your net income in a business. But if you're a small business corporation, up until 550,000 rand of net profit, you do get a tax concession, and that will save you up to about just under 100,000 rand.
Wow, okay. And what can a business claim back from SARS?
So there's a lot of tax benefits available. The small business corporation classification is one. You can further look at when you're getting employees, that if you employ a person or a youth between the age of 18 and 29 at a specific salary, you could actually claim back on your pay as you earn from the employment tax incentive. So there's many of these tax cuts, but it's bespoke. It depends on what industry you are in. Another benefit is actually looking at what the Tax Act allows you to deduct and get accelerated depreciation on certain assets if you need assets in your business. So it means you can write your assets off faster, saving you tax.
Okay, and how is income tax calculated for small businesses?
So it's basically, it looks at your net income. So your income that you invoice to your clients minus your expenses that you need to need to pay in order to generate that income, and after that you'll get a net profit, and that net profit is taxable. That's at that rate of 27% from March. You also just need to keep in mind that if you are a small business corporation, you do get an additional tax deduction.
Okay, so Ian, obviously you have assisted us, you've been our guiding light. We're journalists here, and we are a women empowerment platform. We have an NPC as well as our PTY that you helped us with. So I know that and the reason I brought you is because I know that you can empower our ladies, but also provide services for them. Do you provide services nationally?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
we do.
So you have clients all over the country?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, and how can our people get in touch with you?
Yeah, there's 3 ways basically you get in touch with us. You can visit our website, acute.co.za, and just fill in the general inquiry form of contact us. You can phone us at 010-072-2288, or you can email us at info@acute.co.za, or myself personally, it's ian@acute.co.za.
Okay, so we're gonna that's website, telephone, inquiry form, or even Ian at Acute. We'll have all of that information up on our screen. So again, I am just verifying or validating that his services are amazing. No, he doesn't do anything for me for free. I'm just kidding. He really is. It's an amazing accounting firm. You can be rest assured that you can continue with your work and leave all the SARS stuff up to him. So Ian, thank you so much for joining us, for coming through, empowering us, and we really appreciate you. Thank you.
Great, thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Viewers, we would like to thank you for your continued support and encourage you to like and share our content. Our non-profit companies, the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, powered by MFC and Avo by Nedbank, and the Talk Studios, sponsored by Seriti Solutions and Avo by Nedbank, are platforms aimed at empowering, uplifting, and celebrating the women of motoring South Africa. We are not just telling stories, we are changing lives. If you are searching for a new or pre-owned vehicle, please visit www.auto.avo.africa. We have a wide range of vehicles on sale for you to choose from, and we only advertise on behalf of reliable and trustworthy MFC accredited dealerships. This car listing portal is user-friendly, and you can also find vehicle reviews, car maintenance tips, and automotive advice, all courtesy of Talk Studios. So ladies, I must say that this is not our usual type of interview, but we are definitely trying to empower all our ladies in our trade, and also have you like I said, be confident in whatever you're doing and leave all the nitty-gritties and the other stuff that's very important, like SARS, and we have a legal team as well that comes on and gives advice to us. So I'm hoping that these sessions do empower you. Ladies, I just want to end off by saying that people can only take from you what you allow. If you allow others to define who you are giving them the power to dictate where your path will lead. You are the one who have the power to not allow others to define you, to not put your identity in somebody else's hands. Just be your own authentic self. If you think someone else is responsible for the way you are, you cannot become the way you want to be. And with that, I'd like to remind you that the question should never be who's going to let me. It should always be who's going to stop me.